Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and getting sicker. And I have been like Satan. Well, not like Satan. He's busy in demonic ways. I've been busy on this podcast for a full week now. I think I've been creating content since God knows when. It just seems forever. But this is a good thing. It's becoming a habit. That's the word I like to use, not a discipline or a job or work. This is not work. It's not a job. It's a habit, and it's becoming a good habit, one of purpose. And today I wanted to go over a very disturbing trend that's going on, and a disturbing footage that I have to show you. Uh, Last week on Memorial Day weekend, during Memorial Day weekend, on I think it was Sunday or Monday, there was an basically a brawl at Seaside Heights up in the boardwalk in New Jersey, and it was, as we say, the usual suspects, and it's the reason why we can't have nice things anymore. And if we could just look back in time here. This is from around the 1990s. This is Seaside now. And I wanted to show you this footage because it is so different than what is going on today. Well, yesterday at Jones Beach, which is a beautiful beach out in Wantagh, Long Island, about midway through the island, there was something called Senior Skip Day. Usually kids, seniors skip school that day. It's a well-known thing, and they go party and they go to the beach. They do it in the little town that I live in down here, and it's all for fun. It's all for good stuff. Well, not when it comes to these certain people. Unfortunately, there are people from a certain continent we know. They cannot ever have good, clean fun. It always has to turn into havoc and chaos and madness. And listen, you can say whatever you want. I'll show you the footage here for you to decide. Now, this is from the 1990s. And I have to say, when I was a young man and I used to go to Point Pleasant or Seaside, people used to complain about the Guidos and the Guineas and the Dagos being allowed with our cars and our music and, going to the nightclubs and drinking and all that stuff. Occasionally, once in a blue moon, there might be two gorilla juice heads, getting into a fight. Once in a blue moon. And that happens everywhere. But it was nothing like the rioting. And this was out and out rioting. This was just madness that was going on. Civil disorder that was going on during Seaside, during the Seaside Memorial Day weekend, and yesterday during the Senior Skip Day at Jones Beach. Here's what Seaside Heights used to look like in the 80s and 90s. Nice. Enjoying the sights, the bumper cars. It's as violent as it got, really. Yeah, old people. Sodas, candy on the rides there. Yeah, little children, teenagers, guys and gals having fun. Right? Notice there was something very similar about all the people in that video. Here's Memorial Day weekend. Now you saw there were some white people there, but they were the ones holding the cameras, holding the phones, videotaping the fighting and the jumping around and the animalistic behavior of these people. Now, these people are not from Seaside. They're not from Point Pleasant. They're not from the neighboring towns like Brick. They're not from there. They're probably from Newark or Jersey City or West New York, where, as the title of this broadcast states, the usual suspects reside. And is it me or is it always them? Right? When do you ever see? You might, in the comment section, somebody's going to put a video of some, you know, white altercation with white people. But when can we just be honest here? If we were to look at stuff like this with those people and other people with less melanin in their skin, I think the incidence of those people and the lighter skinned people is outnumbered 20 to 1. There is no doubt that's the case. You can't tell me that is not how this usually ends up, because these people go to different places and they destroy. That's what they do. They can't go somewhere, have fun, clean up their mess, go home. No, it has to be out and out anarchy every single time. And I just don't understand why it has to be this way. It makes no sense to me. Now, yesterday at Jones Beach, it's been reported that police, during a senior skip day at around 3 p.m., police were called to intervene in a massive brawl that broke out with nearly 500 teenagers from neighboring Queens and Nassau County schools. I'll show you the video footage so you don't think that I'm being biased in any way. But if you look at the footage and you look at the helicopter that literally has to fly over this vermin that's on the sand there, that's on the beach, you don't see people who look like you or I. And this is the reason why we can't have nice things anymore. Is it too hard to ask to just have a fun senior skip day where no one has to go to the hospital, no one has to get shot? No one was shot here, but there was a brawl where people went to the hospital. And it was as scary a looking of a situation as it gets. Now, I have kids. None of them were involved in anything like this because they had their senior skip day with kids who looked like them. Thank God. Some of us aren't so lucky. But I wanted to show you this news footage from CBS, local CBS News Channel 2, as they cover this horrific event here that occurred in Wantagh, Long Island, Jones Beach. There's also Robert Moses Park, which is right down, it's about a couple of miles away. I've been to both many, many times when I lived in New York. It used to be paradise on earth. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The boardwalk was beautiful. Everything was just spectacular. If you wanted to meet chicks on there, you went to Jones Beach. It was fantastic. And a year or two ago on Long Beach, which is a neighboring town, a little south of Jones Beach, there was actually a shooting with the usual suspects. But let's look at the news coverage here, courtesy of CBS News for informational purposes. Let's see what they have to say, and just keep an eye on what kind of well, if any of the kids on that beach needed a suntan.
New tonight, several fights and a crowd of hundreds dispersed, causing Jones Beach to shut down. Social media video shows the crowd scattering after police helicopters hovered above. The chaos started around 6 tonight, and police say around 500 people gathered, mostly college-aged. There were a few minor injuries, and Chopper 2 captured at least one person in custody, but no word yet on any charges.
Homeowners to keep an eye out for any
Well, there you go. The brawls broke out during this senior skip day, of course. Local police had to disperse the crowd. A helicopter was summoned, shutting down the beach. And everybody in the nearby area was forced not to enjoy the beach that day. And it has been in that area between 80 to 85 degrees. So it's actually perfect beach weather now. And because of this vermin, good people can't enjoy it. Fists were flying. Several physical altercations were breaking out in different pockets of this horde of vermin that were mostly high school students. They claim these were college students. Doesn't matter. These kids aren't scholars. And as you saw on this post provided by social media, a police helicopter dramatically hovers over the beach and over these people. And they send these maniacs scrambling to the boardwalk. Sand kicking in the air, fists still flying, garbage all over the place. And representatives from the Nassau County Police and the state police, state park officials at Jones Beach refused to respond to this. There was no press conference about this thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're terrified of speaking the truth. If they slip, or if something that they say is misinterpreted, they'll be labeled as racist. And most of these guys out there in Nassau and the state park officials of Jones Beach, these are white people. These are white men. And Lord have mercy, if anything is misinterpreted in any way, their careers are over. Over. And we as a society allow this because we're terrified of a certain group of people. Is there anywhere left in the world where decent people, decent family people with young children can go anymore to have a good time? Do you have to worry? 4th of July is right around the corner. That's a big time of year for people out in Long Island, people down the shore, people down in these different beach communities where this is where they make their money. Are they going to suffer from this nonsense? Is it so bad to say, hey, listen, you know what? We don't want a certain element down here. Is that such a bad thing? Because accepting that certain element ain't working. Let's just call a spade, no pun intended. But this whole, let everybody party, let everybody have a good time, we're all equal. No. That's not how it looks. That's not how it is. And it's not worth the risk anymore of allowing certain people to come into certain areas of certain communities and literally run amok. And people, and white people in particular, white men in particular, must have the balls to say, you know what, I'm not afraid of being called a racist. Fuck this whole racist stuff. I have to stand up and say something. And that's what manhood is about. And manhood has been lost on white Christian heterosexual males for 50 years, maybe 60 years. Where's the manhood that was on that beach? Do you think those guys, those 17, 18-year-old boys that are on that beach are going to grow up to be uh, people of society? Are they going to contribute to society in a positive way? They'll have 4 or 5 baby mamas. One of them will probably be white. They'll probably be on welfare, EBT, sucking on the system. Some of them will be in jail. Some of them might be in the cemetery. But there are no Rhodes Scholars in that crowd. And I guarantee you that of the 500 kids that were there, 4/5 of those kids don't have a daddy in the house. Homie never came back from getting the milk. Just put it to you that way. It's sick and getting sicker out there. I know you get sick of me saying that maybe, but what else can you say? What else can you say when you see these images on video of the same people who continue to go to these beautiful places? They have access to these beautiful places and they run amok. And nobody says anything. Nobody points it out. You know why? Because they're terrified of how they're going to be labeled. And that's where it has to stop. That's where setting your course to manhood begins. When you can finally break free and say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to worry about what you think of me. Your opinion of me is of no importance. Because there was no manhood on that beach yesterday. There was no manhood on that boardwalk last week. And we continue to kowtow to these people and try to, understand them and, figure out where they're coming from. No more. That ship has sailed in a big way. And it's very easy for me to say this because a lot of us have jobs and a lot of us have children we have to support. We have bills to pay. We all have that. But there might come a time where you're going to have to stand up for yourself because just you being a white heterosexual Christian male or just a white person in general, you're going to come to a point where someone's going to accuse you of something and they're going to be different than you and they're going to get the benefit of the doubt from people who look like you. Because white people are cowards, especially if you're dealing in a job where there's HRA, where there's HRA, where there's HR, which is mostly women. They will never take your side. Men lose automatically. You are guilty until proven innocent, and you're never proven innocent because they'll fire you. Or they'll demote you, or they'll put something on your record that will prevent you from moving up in that company or bettering yourself. Now, the man memo is setting your course for manhood. And we live in a world that's constantly trying to tell you what to do, who to be, how to live. Constantly trying to set your course in a direction that you may not want to go to. And if you set your course on your own terms, you are in an act of rebellion in this society. It's about taking control of your life and steering it in the direction you want, not where others are pushing you, Not your mother, not your father, not your wife, not your girlfriend, not your children. You. This is your life. You have to be selfish. And you must do what you feel is right for you. Now, setting your course isn't just about chasing dreams now. It's about aligning your life with value, things that matter on a much deeper level, things that have purpose. Remember, develop, create, we evolve. And the first step is to get clear on what your values are. What means stuff? What matters to you? What means something to you? Is it your freedom? Is it your creativity? Is it your family? Is it your growth? Whatever it is, those values become a compass and lead you into the right direction, in your direction, and guide you. And they guide your decisions, and they keep you grounded. When things get tough, if you're not sure what your values are, you take some time again and meditate. No TV, no phone, no music, just you and the universe, and it will come to you. Believe me, trust me on that. If there's anything that you take from that, just trust in the fact that whatever you are looking for is within you, and it'll come to you, but you got to eliminate the distractions. When you felt most fulfilled or proud of yourself, chances are those are the experiences where those experiences were in line with your values. Once you know what truly drives you, it's easier to stay on course. You're not being swayed by distractions, by girls, by kids, by TV, by social media, by other people's expectations. You set goals that are true only to you. And I'm not talking about goals that look good on paper or goals that other people think you should have. That's megalomania. I'm talking about authentic, meaningful goals that get you excited and align with your core. Success looks different to everybody. Some people see it as having money. Some people have it as fucking a lot of girls. Some people see success as having, fancy clothes or cars. And it's easy to get caught up chasing someone else's version of success. But we must learn to live according to your or our principles, not society's. So you're going to ask yourself, what success looks like to me? What do I want from my life? What do you want your life to look like a few years from now? Setting your course isn't always comfortable. It often means stepping out of your comfort zone. And when embracing the unknown, when challenging yourself, it can feel pretty uncomfortable, and it's going to feel lonely, and it's going to feel scary, and that's great. Because the Stoics teach us that discomfort is where real growth happens. The obstacles you face aren't roadblocks. They're opportunities to get better, stronger, resilient. So when you're charting your course, be prepared to embrace some discomfort along the way. It's natural, and you're not alone. It's part of the process. That's what separates you from everybody else, because you're willing to go through the difficult discomfort of this process. Don't forget, this is the journey, and it's long. This ain't a race. It doesn't end in 9 seconds. You don't have to figure everything out right away. You don't have to have every step planned out, because life changes. There's the old saying, we make plans and God laughs. Well, life changes, and so does the path. The important thing is to keep moving forward. Stay curious. Keep learning. Always adapt when necessary. And what is all that? When you mash that up into a big ball, it's called evolving. When you're always learning, you're always growing, you open up to the idea that your course might shift. You may think that you are a writer today, and maybe the writing thing doesn't go well, but you might meet somebody who says, you know, Johnny, I think you're a better director than you are a writer. Try this. And boom, this is what happens. Doors close, other doors open. Networking through one means could lead to networking in another. I've been in the entertainment business. I can tell you that there are people who came in thinking they were actors. They were half-ass actors. They became producers, made a lot of money. Were very successful. And as you discover more about yourself and the world around you, trust your gut. Don't overthink. Just fucking do it. I was terrified about starting this podcast, and I may not be good at it, and I don't care. But the one thing I did was I said, it doesn't matter how I start as long as I start. And before I used to do it once a week, maybe twice a week. This week I did it. I did a podcast every day. While it's great to take advice from others, no one knows you better than you. Your intuition is often a reflection of your values, so learn to trust it. I'm not telling you to listen to the words I'm saying. If I had told people that I wanted to start a podcast, they'd laugh at me. That's why I kept it to myself. Always keep your mouth shut about your plans. People throw out dirty energy in the universe, and it could fuck you. Keep your aspirations to yourself. Learn by yourself. Grow by yourself. Adapt by yourself. Evolve by yourself. Trust me, the people that are worth it will be waiting for you at the finish line. In abundance. The Stoics believe that wisdom comes from within. It's something you carry with you. We all have this gift. Some of us are blind to it. Some of us had to read books about it. I do it all the time. I am not telling you I'm an expert. All I'm telling you is that I'm learning. I'm smart enough to know that I know nothing. And that's why I keep reading these guys over and over and over again. So as you set your course, you navigate your own life. When you stay true to who you are, you'll find the path you create is the one that leads to the most fulfillment. Authentic fulfillment, not plastic shit. Not fake stuff, not little thoughts out there that are looking to hook up with you just because you got a little money. I'm talking about authentic fulfillment that makes you feel like you're evolving every day. And the only way to do that is to take the wheel, set your course, and steer your life in the direction that feels right for you. You hear me? All right. And that's the memo, and I hope it helps. All right. So how do I leave you all the time? Thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Be careful out there, gentlemen. Satan is always busy, and as you know from the podcast that I've been doing, he's been super, super duper busy. Well, he's always been super duper busy since the beginning of time, but he won't get to us because we're men, we have a backbone, and masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. We'll see you later.